May your heart be your guiding key.
Hello everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back. So the Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory demo is now available across all systems. Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PS4. Of course, for free. And yeah, I did decide to give it a try. I played this on a PS4 if you're ever curious. It's quite something. It's fun, yeah, but it ain't easy. If you aren't a rhythm game enthusiast especially, it's hard. I mean yes, if you are still a rhythm enthusiast, it can still be hard at first. However, that doesn't mean they made the game impossibly difficult. Where to start? Okay. The demo menu is as follows. I assume the final product will be about the same thing. World Tour is grayed out. That's basically adventure mode. The second one, which we can now access via the demo, while you simply select between 4 different tracks in this demo. You have 2 songs from Kingdom Hearts 1, another one from Birth by Sleep, and one from 0.2. Easily the hardest song so far. That I can already easily tell. From experience, of course. Speaking of difficulty, the game will come with 3 modes of difficulty. Beginner, Standard, and Proud. With 3 different playstyles as well. Basic, One Button, and Performer. Now what's the difference between these 2 sets of modes? Well, the traditional Beginner, Standard, and Proud, well, it has to do with the amount of enemies on track. Or in other words, there's a lot more rhythm you have to follow as you increase the difficulty. Playstyles add another layer of challenge by choice, yes, by choice. One button is one button. Only one button on the controller, for example, if you're used to using X on the PS4, you're only gonna use X on the controller. One button also moves the character on screen left and right when gliding as well. And as for the barrels and crates on the sides, Donald and Goofy automatically smash them for you when one button is applied. This is for people who struggle with, pressing too many buttons at the same time. Then there's Basic Mode, where you have to use more than one button, of course. In this case, on the PlayStation 4, we got X, R1, and L1. Oh, and Triangle for magic attacks. Then we have Performer, where you have to press even more buttons. The demo starts with, of course, a tutorial which relies on Basic Mode. From personal experience, having played the demo, I feel Basic Mode and Standard is a good level of challenge. Like it gives you a taste of what Melody of Memory is all about. If you want more, you move on to Performer. I personally still struggle with Performer, so I don't even think I'll be using it a lot. Like I said, Basic Mode gives a good level of challenge. If anything, you simply move the bar from Standard to Proud. So yeah, I personally am going to stick to Basic. Now if you play Field Battle on Proud, not all songs, I feel, have the same level of challenge. The 2 songs which I didn't have a hard time on my first Proud playthrough, we have Rustling Forest and Wonderland. Wonderland being the easiest one out of the bunch. But then Hand in Hand and especially Wave of Darkness, oof. The amount of eye coordination some songs will require if you're playing on Proud. Especially if you're also playing on Performer, which, oof, it can get confusing. Now following the rhythm is pretty much on point in this game, so you really have to follow it if you want to simplify your task. If you don't, you're gonna rely on the visual aspect too much, which can get overwhelming. I'm not saying focusing on rhythm alone will be 100% accurate, but it's there. The rhythm you have to follow and it's gonna be very helpful. At the end of the day, it is a rhythm game, of course, but you'll also have to keep an eye on instances where you have to press more than one button. The game gives you a visual clue when to press 3 buttons at the same time, or even 2. Lines, basically, show up on screen. Now if you're playing on Performer and Proud and say you're playing Wave of Darkness, that's where your brain will probably go like, what's even going on? All in all, Melody of Memory is a game which will take you a couple of tries to get used to the pattern. Like I said, I personally feel like Basic Mode is my go-to challenge right now. One button, especially if you started with Basic, it gets complicated simply due to all of the muscle memory you've gained playing on Basic. Now if you start with one button and then move on to Basic, it's a different story because you're simply training yourself to become better and move on to other playstyles, more difficult playstyles. Now, trophies have been revealed. Of course, I won't show them on screen, but let me just say, one trophy will be a pain. You see that chain gauge on the top right corner? Yeah, let's just say you need to maintain that on Proud by, not missing any button presses at all. By the way, the official Japanese website has a listing of songs that will be part of Melody of Memory. As for the North American website, you can also find a listing for the soundtracks, but not all of them compared to the Japanese website. Now, looking at the Japanese version, they're slowly updating this list with more tracks as time goes on. Paying particular attention to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, One-Winged Angel will be part of Melody of Memory. I can already feel the pain at the tip of my fingers. Whether or not this means Sephiroth will be part of Boss Battle, who knows. Right there on the far right, we have Orchestra World Tour. Cool! Same goes for Piano Collections, an album released in 2009. Lastly, Nintendo Dream November magazine includes an interview with director Nomura, producer Hazama, and co-director Suzui on Melody of Memory. Tetsuya Nomura reassures that this game has no secret ending. Rather, the game itself counts as quote-unquote a secret movie. Also, with Melody of Memory at play, comes the following statement by Nomura. As for the Kingdom Hearts series, we hope to broaden our target audience. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is only the first part of what we have in store from here on out. I wonder what Tetsuya Nomura is thinking about. And I'm looking forward to it. Before I forget, of course, thank you to Ataikimochi as always for providing awesome translations over on Twitter. So lastly, something I just want to throw into this video. Famitsu held an interview with Yoko Shimomura, Takeharu Ishimoto, and Tsuyoshi Sekito on Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack. You can find the interview over on KH3. The link will be in the description below. Now, what caught my attention in this interview was Yoko Shimomura's statement regarding the name of the theme of Yozora, the battle theme you hear when you face him. The name of the soundtrack is Nachtflügel, which is German for Nightwing. Now, Yoko Shimomura said that simply translating the name in Japanese, which is Yoru no Tsubasa, it translates to Nightwing. So she thought that a German version of the name is better suitable. Why? Because she feels Yozora is a character with a different perspective of the world. So she simply thought that a German name for this song would fit perfectly. She felt like Nightwing, or another translation would be Mirror of Night, would look too simple for a character such as Yozora. I think what she's trying to say is Yozora is someone mysterious, so why not come up with an epic sort of name for his soundtrack? She finished her statement by saying that when you title your music, focus on giving a title that gives the feeling of the song. So in a way, all she's saying, I think from what I understood, is make it sound epic. Don't be shy, don't be scared, make the name sound epic. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool about Yozora the Nightwing, or the Mirror of Night, or like how he has a different perspective of the world. Interesting. I always believed that Yozora is like this parallel Sora, with a whole new topic of world lines introduced in Kingdom Hearts. The statement shared by Yoko Shimomura, I don't know, it caught my attention. So yeah, if you're interested to read the whole thing, it will be in the description below, just to remind you. So with that being said, guys, this is it for the video. So as usual, if you have questions or anything of such sort, leave it all in the comments section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.